Hello everybody, we are back live, and I'm hoping everything's working. Had my dad come up here to take a look at it. Apparently I believe it was the AC adapter thing. Basically, it just couldn't, it was basically all that was wrong with it was just it couldn't recognize, the amount of wattage I had, so basically we just had to restart the entire thing, but we're good now. Let me reload the video here. Foxtrot, freeze the fall interview.
How about, would you...
Okay, the audio sounds a ton better. But yeah, so take two. This is part two. Another Freeze to Fall watch party, but part two of watching this interview by Johnny Foxtrot of Freeze to Fall from the Johnny Foxtrot show. Yeah, while this plays, I'm gonna redo the title of the stream and everything else.
We paddle across the Atlantic Ocean to see Spirit Box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're that good.
That's more what I'm getting at. Is who would you paddle board across the ocean to see? So you're gonna go see Spirit Box this year
Yeah.
in Vancouver? Or is it?
Would you paddle across the Atlantic Ocean to meet Amanda?
He already knows Amanda. He would, of course, he did paddle across to get back to Amanda. He already knows Amanda.
That's true. Damn. Johnny, do you have any artists you would paddleboard across the Atlantic or even the Pacific Ocean to see?
Jonah the Seal, for sure.
That's
Jonah the Seal.
I feel you.
I'd go the long way too, man. I'd go the Pacific around to the Atlantic. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god,
Damn.
that's backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of love that. That's pretty cool.
Just for you, man.
Oh my god, and
Just
you're
for
on
you.
you're on the eastern side too. You have to go all the.
That's what I'm saying. That's a long way. That's a long way.
God. I love that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so ripped after that.
I'll be so ripped by the time I get there.
Yeah.
My arms would be enormous. That would be incredibly difficult. Paddleboarding seems like such a high energy workout because it's all your arms, and you really can't use your legs because your legs are gonna try to keep your balance. You know what I mean? So
have you been paddleboarding before?
I have never been paddleboarding myself. You know, I've never jumped on it myself. I've attempted surfing, and I was okay at it. I was all right, but I'd have to try it again, I think. I don't know. There's not really a lot of great places to surf on the East Coast unless you go to Florida in the US. So and Florida's all the way at the bottom.
I mean, this is the best.
Shout out to everyone that is just now joining the live stream. We were live a little bit ago, but unfortunately we had some stuff wrong with my computer, so we had to restart and all that stuff, but we're back now. So, but yeah, again, this is part two. This is another Freeze to Fall watch party, but this is part two of this Johnny Foxtrot Freeze to Fall watch interview on the Johnny Foxtrot show. I'm hoping to get to the end of this interview, because again, it is a long interview. But if we can't, then I'll just name this stream part two, and then we'll do a part three at some point.
Way, but I feel like you look like you could be a surfer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you told me that you surf for 6 hours a day, every day,
I would believe you.
I'd believe you. Even if you were in some.
The chat is now officially coming back. The chat is going faster now, so yay. Hello everyone, hey, looks like you fixed it. Hello Sam and Terry. Yes, we did fix it. The audio and everything sounds a whole lot better. And what I mean by that is the audio sounded all crackly and stuff, and it wasn't good at all. Trust me, this audio is definitely better than what it was. But yeah.
Somewhere that's landlocked.
Sounds great. Well, I'm glad.
Even if you've never seen the ocean, I'd still be like, hell yeah, he surfs every single day. Like, I'd just be like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I definitely give off that vibe. I mean, people think that I'm Australian half the time, which I don't. I think it's my hair. You know what I mean? I think it's the hair.
I think so.
The hair gives off dude bro vibes. I think so.
That's the best vibe, though.
That's the best vibe.
That's literally British Columbia. Like, the BC vibe is exactly that, so.
Yeah, I probably would fit in okay up there if that's the vibe. That's how like Northern California was, like NorCal. Like I was like, man, these people look like me around here. So it was weird. I never really been anywhere like that where I had met people like you know, in like throughout my life that I've like always try to like figure out like where I was from, like based on how I talked and what I looked or whatever. And like there was a few people that were asked me if I was from like Northern California, and I was like, I lived there when I was a kid. Like I lived there like for like the first 7 years of my life, but not enough to say that like I'm from there or that I would consider it part of my personality that way.
Right.
But
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I definitely think it's the hair. It's mostly the hair. And then probably like the way I talk too a little bit. I've always been given like a hard time about like the way I talk, just because I've always like never really talked, I guess, too proper, if you will. Like I don't know. I just talk the way I talk. You know what I mean?
You talk in like a pretty normal way, in my opinion. Like whatever normal means, you seem like a pretty like when you talk, I'm not just like, where is he from? Like you're just talking like a pretty normal way to me.
Yeah. Just a chill guy. And I find your voice really soothing, actually. Like,
Yeah. You
Thanks, man.
could read like
It's like
do like audiobooks or whatever.
feeling so like
You
chill
should
and
help
balanced.
David
David
Yeah.
Attenborough. Oh my god.
We need that collab right now.
Yeah, Johnny and David Attenborough.
Yeah.
Whoa. You could be like describing like all these like the seals in the ocean. Yes. Oh my god.
There you
You
go.
could get some drone footage.
Yeah.
You can narrate the whole thing.
I can see myself getting behind something like that. I'm a big fan of like of animals in general, and then like I'm a big fan of like sea life too. I feel like the sea life is like all the animals that we don't really get to see as much of, because like they're like in their own world underwater. Like, you know, unless you go in it, like you don't really get to see it that way. So I feel like it's different from like land and like air animals. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of turtles for sure. I love sea turtles. Yeah, they're probably one of my favorite animals for sure. But like, I'm a big fan of like, I like beluga whales. Like beluga whales are dope. They get a bad rep, man. I remember taking my kid to go see a beluga whale the first time. He's like, they look weird, and I was like, don't be so mean to them, bro. I was like, that's why we like them, because they're different.
This is the best interview. Like we're talking about beluga whales. This is
Yeah.
incredible. Awesome.
Yeah, your guys' manager is never going to book you guys with me again. I swear.
No,
we didn't talk about enough music.
No, we will literally book it ourselves.
Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Do you guys have to go? Like, I think we're kind of like past time, so I don't want to keep you
I have
guys
no idea
longer than
what
where you
time
guys are
we
supposed to
started.
go.
Manager is not in the house right now, so
So
we're
Oh, she hasn't came back
You're
yet?
good
Okay,
to
so as
go.
long as she doesn't come back.
she's out of like cell range, so it's okay. No cell service for her.
What's the weirdest thing that your mom says? What's the weirdest thing that your mom says, Aria? Does she say something like funky fresh?
oh, I'm trying to think. I think Krista, Jonah's mom, has like the most iconic vocabulary out of anybody, including like
Yeah.
Jonah and Krista both have this amazing vocabulary.
Yeah, I don't know if our moms can compare, but your dad,
Oh yeah, he's like the most Canadian person you'll ever meet. He's like, hey, bud.
he's like, eh.
I appreciate that, Terry. We'll see you later, Terry. Appreciate you stopping by, though.
Okay, sounds good.
He's very Canadian. He'll be like, hey, Quinner, how's your day?
Yeah, literally, like, as soon as I came into the house, he's like, hey, Quinn, how's it going? No, Quinner. Hey, Quinner, how's it going?
Quinner.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So when every time that I've talked to him, like that's the first thing that
Quinner. What name?
I've noticed too. Is I was like, oh, very Canadian accent. Like I was like, oh, bud. Oh, I don't even know if I'm speaking back right, but
Yeah.
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 We call him Craig Delicious.
Yeah, Craig. Like,
This is really the craziest interview. I love
We
it though.
sound so like American, like in compared to his way of speaking.
He's from
Yeah.
like up way up north BC, so like I don't know, maybe it's because he's like from a different part than us, but he hasn't lived there for a long time, so I think he's just like magical.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna give you a little secret, all right? It's a little secret that the Canadians don't want you to know. There's a lot of Canadians who like speak with like elements of that Canadian accent, and it's not their real accent. They just speak that way because that's the way that they like think they should be speaking because it's like cool. Not that Craig does that, but there's lots of like, it's all the like hockey guys at school. We had this conversation. There's like the guys who play hockey at school. They're like they'll be talking like me, and they're like talking exactly like this, and they turn around and talk to their friend. And they're like, "Hey, bud, so I heard that the boom, 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 boom." Like, that's your little Canadian secret of the day.
So the jocks of Canada, they put on a thicker Canadian accent to sound more hockey-like. That is
Yeah,
probably the most Canadian thing I think I've heard in a while.
And they can do it because their passport says that they're Canadian. So they're like, "Yeah, I'm Canadian." So like, it's fine, you know?
Yeah, it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that the three of you guys don't have like a huge accent, like in the way that you guys speak versus like, again, talking to like your dad, like Craig, like right before you guys got on here, where it's like, there's a huge difference where like, and I feel like a lot of us in America, like we think all of you guys talk like that, but I feel like I've met enough Canadians in my life to know that like, it's just like certain words you guys say. And then I think it really also depends on like where you guys are from. So like same thing with like the South in America. Like if you're from the South, like you have an accent. And then the people will also try to develop the twang just to fit in because it makes them sound like they're from around here. You know what I mean? And they're not.
Yeah.
So I totally get the whole like thing. So I think that's kind of like the coolest little bit of information I've got today was the fact that Canadians were trying to pretend to be more Canadian.
And it's not all of them. There are a ton of people who genuinely speak with that accent, but there's also a ton of people who speak like us. But also like just like in the States, so there's like so many different accents.
Yeah.
Exact same thing in Canada. Like all across. Like
what's the hardest people to understand in Canada? Like which province?
Newfies.
Newfies. So
Yeah.
that's Newfoundland. Is that how you say it?
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Okay. Newfies.
They're like out east.
Yeah, it's very, very far east.
They have like the coolest accent. It's tricky to understand.
It's very cool, but yeah, it's just a lot thicker than it is here.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people whose families traveled from like Ireland and Scotland out there, and so it was like a mixture of like that accent with like whatever else was there. And I'm sure there's a lot of like French Canadian type of stuff going on out there too, because it's like out east. But I could be completely wrong, so don't quote me on that. But it's
Yeah.
cool.
Do most Canadians think that everybody in America has a cowboy hat?
I think that I don't think Canadians think that. No, but I think sometimes Canadians like to joke about that.
Yes.
Yeah. We don't actually think that.
Yeah, we don't actually. I think that Canadians probably see more Americans than Americans see Canadians, I'm guessing, because Canadians always see Americans on TV and like on the radio and stuff.
True that.
Like all the
That's
like
facts.
celebrities and like all the music and all the movies and obviously like the news.
Yeah.
So, random question: when you guys think of like who like the biggest star in America is, like who are the kind of people that you guys think of off the top of your head?
Probably like Johnny Foxtrot, I think.
Yeah,
Stop it! Stop it! You're too kind. You're too
Wait,
kind.
what did you say?
Very far east.
They have like the coolest accent. It's tricky to understand.
It's very cool, but yeah, it's just a lot thicker than it is here.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people whose families traveled from like Ireland and Scotland out there, and so it was like a mixture of like that accent with like whatever else was there. And I'm sure there's a lot of like French Canadian type of stuff going on out there too, because it's like out east. But I could be completely wrong, so don't quote me on that. But it's
Yeah.
cool.
Do most Canadians think that everybody in America has a cowboy hat?
No, but I think sometimes Canadians like to joke. Canadians probably see more Americans than Americans see Canadians, I'm guessing, because Canadians always see Americans on TV and like on the radio and stuff.
True that.
Like all the
That's
like
facts.
celebrities and like all the music and all the movies and obviously like the news.
Yeah.
So, random question: when you guys think of like who like the biggest star in America is, like who are the kind of people that you guys think of off the top of your head?
Probably like Johnny Foxtrot, I think.
Yeah.
Ah, stop it! Stop it! You're too kind. You're too kind.
The biggest celebrity in the U.S.
Yeah, like when you guys, as a Canadian, like when you guys think of like big American celebrities, like who would be like the first people you guys think of?
That's actually a good question. I'm not gonna lie. Because like Quinn just mentioned, Canadians probably see more Americans than Americans see Canadians, because Canadians always see Americans like on TV and stuff. Yeah, that's interesting. Love to know the answer.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
There's so many of them.
Oh shit.
You're a fish.
And a seal, and a
And a
capybara,
seal.
and a gorilla.
Everything. Okay, what are some?
Okay, American.
Help me. What are some American celebrities?
Oh, who's coming to mind?
There's like so many that I can't name. I don't know who the top one is.
Well, like Donald Trump, I guess.
Actually, probably yeah, Donald Trump.
Probably.
Probably Donald.
Yeah,
Trump.
he's probably the most infamous person like in our country for sure at the moment.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Literally, just like any of the celebrities, like. What are celebrities? Like
Taylor Swift.
yeah, Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
That's probably actually a really good one right there. Taylor Swift's probably like one of the biggest that we have.
Looks like we are on. We are on, indeed. Shout out to Jeff Corsham in the chat, as well as Anna Cruz. We are back. We are back. So, turns out what happened. So, Anna Cruz and Jeff Corsham, since you just came in, basically what happened was we were live a little bit ago, but, well, actually, this stream's only been going for 17 minutes. But, probably about a little bit ago we were live, but unfortunately my computer was all whack, and turns out that the AC adapter, I believe is what it's called, apparently it basically just couldn't recognize the amount of wattage in my computer and stuff, which was basically simple. All we had to do was unplug it and then replug it in to restart it, and then, yeah. But we're back now, so everything's good.
Have for sure.
For
I didn't
sure.
even think about that.
The people who are famous in your country are also famous in our country. Like I feel like American celebrities are like famous like all over the world, but there's like people in Canada who are like well known that just like stay in Canada. Like you could be like the top artist on like Canada Billboard or whatever, and like you cross the border into the States and no one has heard of that person. So like Canada has like celebrities too, I guess. Just like it's just it works
More so,
differently.
like, just our country.
Yeah, it works differently than it does in the States. Like if you're like the most famous person in Canada, you might like be completely unknown in like Seattle or something. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's also like so much like a room in.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I can agree. And yeah. I mean, yeah. Like you can be a star, and you can be a celebrity, like the biggest celebrity in Canada. You move over to the United States. There may not be a lot of people that know you personally, just because you've always been a Canadian, and you've always stayed in Canada. And I feel like, in a way, same thing for an American that's in the U.S. You're a celebrity in the U.S., and you stayed in the U.S. for, like, all the time. The one time you move to Canada, you're either going to have a lot of people that recognize you and know you, or you're not. So, I guess in a way it really just matters on what places you go to, and like what, this is my opinion as far as a celebrity. You guys can have your own opinion or correct me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, it's like it kind of just depends on like where you go and or like how long you stay in a certain place. Because in my opinion, if you're not traveling the world and stuff, and you're not making people well known of you, and you're staying in one spot, by the time you go to those other places, not very many people, at least in my opinion, not very many people are going to recognize you or if even know you. So, yeah.
Really, just like being
That's my opinion.
famous or being a celebrity or whatever, like depending on what you are is how people know you. You know what I mean? Like you could have 5 million followers on YouTube, but people still wouldn't know who you were because you're not on a TV show or something. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think it really just all depends on where you are and who it is. That's why I was curious of like who you guys thought of,
See, just about what I just said.
like in terms of like,
Also matters on who it is.
being Canadian, because like
Yeah.
I think a lot of times like we think about it like from everything from like our own perspectives. So again, being from the US and the fact that we have Hollywood and we are such an entertainment pushing country. I never really thought about like, who other people think our celebrities are, or who are the people that they think of like when they think of it, like do they think movie stars, do they think musicians, like do they think Taylor Swift, or do they think like Dwayne The Rock Johnson? You know what I mean?
You think like all of them.
Yeah, all of them
Yeah,
above.
it's like I think when we think American celebrities, not just like we as in us, but I think like Canadians in general, it's like
Actors and musicians.
actors, musicians, politicians, like that type of stuff. Like really like any type of way for you to be famous, if that makes sense. I have a question just now that we're thinking about this, and this
Okay.
is like this.
Hold on, guys. Before we listen to this question, let me fix the title of this stream. And I'm not really fixing it. I'm just naming it a different number. Because I said 6th. I said 6th Freeze the Fall Watch Party. But I don't actually think that's what it is. I just guessed a random number just because I completely forgot what number we're on. But I don't think it's 6th. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's 6. Freeze the Fall, Freeze the Fall, where's Freeze the Fall? Where's Freeze the Fall? Freeze the Fall, Freeze the Fall, Freeze the Fall. Freeze the Fall, here we go. No way. It is the 6th. Well. Okay. Yay.
Just like to ask an American, do Americans know who Terry Fox is?
No.
Terry Fox.
Terry Fox.
It's not ringing a bell like that. in my
Okay.
brain.
Okay. No. See, that's interesting. That's interesting. He's like he's very well known in Canada, so
Very
it's
much
just
so.
like it's just a question type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you guys know who Tiger King is?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the whole world knew who he was in a minute.
Okay, well, I mean,
It's I don't know.
I don't know who he is. But I will say just take a look at how quickly they were able to guess that guy, and they weren't able, and he wasn't able to guess Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the whole was like that's like so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well known in Canada. So
Right.
see, that's interesting. Terry Fox.
It's not ringing a bell like that.
Terry
Okay.
Fox.
Okay. No. See, that's interesting. That's interesting.
And then you
Question
fast
type of thing, you
forward.
know?
That's cool.
Do you guys know who Tiger King is?
Tiger King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
I think the whole world knew who he was in a minute. So I don't know. He was the first like random person I could think of that was like
I'm glad I'm not the only one, Tommy.
that's like straight American right there.
American.
He's very American for sure.
Well, it's interesting. Krista, Jonah's mom, her and I were having this conversation. It was actually last time that we had a horror movie night. Her and I were having this random conversation about how like we were talking about like entertainment, and we were talking about celebrities and stuff, and we are talking about how like you could be like, say, an American celebrity, and you could be the most like American, if that makes sense. Like your whole brand could be like the United States, if that makes sense. But and you could be like globally famous. But if you're from like another country, like for example, like the Tragically Hip, okay, they're so famous in Canada, and they're famous in Canada because they were so like Canadian. But that's the exact reason that they didn't make it out of Canada, was because they were so like Canadian. So we just thought it was like really interesting, because you could be like so like American, whatever that means, and you could be like famous all over the place. But it's not like that for other.
Yeah. True that. True that. Shout out to Terry McIntyre. Welcome back. Welcome back into the stream. Okay, so just to ask, Terry, what when you say guy run for a few BBIAB, what does that mean? Exactly. I forgot to ask, because you left the stream. What does that mean, though? THR, great band.
Other countries. So it's just like so interesting, like the impact that the United States has on the world as far as like pop culture moments and like celebrities and stuff. It's really interesting. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, like you couldn't be from like Sweden and be like so Swedish and like
Be back in a bit. Okay. I swear, the most easiest things I can't figure out.
Swedish is your branding. Like your whole thing is about Sweden. Like you're not going to be popular in North America. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you kind of have to like change to fit into like the American type of brand, if that makes sense.
Yeah, anybody who really drapes themselves like in American flags and stuff like that typically makes a splash somewhere, somehow. Like when they live the idea of like the true patriotism of America, like that happens like literally every couple of years. There's some new person that pops up in some sort of form somewhere that's like draped head and toe in like red, white, and blue stripes. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we as a country are definitely. We have like our own thought process, I think, when it comes to like patriotism, and I think that there's everybody has their own idea when it comes to what that looks like. But we're definitely a country where people hang a lot of flags in their yards. You know what I mean? Where they'll put a lot of American flags in a lot of different places, really throughout the entire country. Where in some other countries, I think that you guys kind of do that a little bit too with Canada, but not as much. But like in the different countries I've been to, I haven't seen like that be.
Oh my god, I'll be right back. Sorry, guys, that took longer than I wanted, but it's fine. We all learned it at one time, and there are things I have no clue what it means. 420.
Like a typical thing, you know what I mean? We're like we have a lot of pride in.
So, by the way, this is my final thing for today. This watch party, this is my final thing for today. Just because I already did all my reactions that I need to do today. I've already done them. So, yeah. So, we can really go however long we want with this.
Being from the U.S. and so like we show that in like a lot of different ways.
Basically, which means we might actually be able to get through this interview today.
So I think it's interesting when people find interest in the like our extreme patriotism, if that makes any sense. Like it seems to gravitate towards people because I don't think a lot of people have like those kind of even like thought processes within their countries about their own country. Like they love their own country, but not the same way that Americans love
Right.
America.
I've never left Canada, so I don't really have the same like awareness to like compare Canada to stuff. You guys have been to the States. How is it like the comparison?
Yeah, there was definitely way more flags for
I
sure.
have a story about that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
Yeah. So every time my brother and I go to the States, we count. So when we cross the border, how many flags we saw driving the border versus when we cross it. So on the Canadian side, there was more American flags than Canadian flags.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Actually, on the
That, okay, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds backwards for some reason.
border, there's more American than
And
Canadian.
then when we got across the border, 0 Canadian flags. And then our first day, it was Seattle. Our first day in Seattle, we saw 173 flags. And here you'll see like 20.
That's so interesting though. How there's
really
just like that
interesting.
cultural difference and like different perspective of like your own country and where you're from and where you live. That's so interesting.
It is
though.
really interesting, yeah.
Shout out to all five people in the live stream right now. I would say 6, but the 6th one is me. So,
It was really cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I have my stream opened up on another tab.
It's almost like a thing where, you know, if you have a flagpole, like you gotta hang an American flag on it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
and people like will purposely go out of their way to go get stuff or like put flagpoles on their houses and stuff like that just so they can display a flag. So yeah, I've never been that guy to like really like display the flag like that. But then again, I also serve, so like, you know, I feel like I did my time as a patriot in my country.
Right. You earned it.
Right. I don't feel like I need to wave a flag around to do any of that. So, but yeah, it's one of those things like I can kind of get it, but it also kind of makes it feel like it's a little obnoxious. You know what I mean? Like when you say like, you know, you're crossing the border and you're seeing like 20 flags on your side, and then you cross ours and it's like 5 times that, where it's like, this is why people I think also think that we're a little loud and obnoxious in America, because we kind of are. You know what I mean? We put the gigantic flag instead of just like the one small one. You know what I mean? We'll have like the one that's big enough for a
Okay.
baseball stadium hanging like over a car dealership or something. You know what I mean?
And what's funny is all this I can agree with. Because I'm an American. Shout out to Viking J in the chat. Shout out to Viking J in the chat. I am a U.S. Army vet and lived. Oh, cool. Nice. And lived in Quebec with a First Nations woman for 10 years, so I agree about the flag thing. Well, congratulations on the U.S. Army vet thing. That's really cool. So Viking J, So Viking J, for people that are new in the chat that have yet to become moderators, we asked them 2 questions about the artist. In this case, it's Freeze the Fall, a group or a band. The 2 questions are, and if you answer these and want to answer these, you'll become a standard moderator on the channel, just like Terry, Tommy, Anna, and all of them. When did you discover Freeze the Fall? And how did you discover Freeze the Fall? Those are your 2 questions.
I mean, it's ridiculous. We are the land of bigger is better, so they always try to go bigger than home.
I love that. That's so funny. Oh my god. Stop it.
Well, that's what we have to do every time.
Oh yeah. No, I think it's interesting though. It's really.
I think Canada and the States are very similar, but also very different.
I wonder if it's yeah.
You guys are nicer. You guys are nicer. I tell almost any Canadian I talk to that you guys are nicer than we are, generally speaking. Do you know what I mean? I get you guys have mean people over there too. I get it. But you're mean.
Oh, cool. Nice. Okay. So you discovered Freeze-to-Fall in 2023, and you discovered them because of Bell Development, also known as Jesse. Okay. Now I get. Alright, well, in that case, congratulations, Viking J. You have just been officially added as a standard moderator. Now when you type in the chat, you will have a blue highlighted name and a blue wrench next to your name. We call that as a nickname, you've been wrenched. So, everyone in the military part or present, past or present, thanks for your service. Indeed, agree. Agree.
People are like normal to us. Does that make sense? Where it's like, that's the dude who's having a bad day. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you know, so like I feel like our aggressive and our mean is just that much meaner. But at the same time, like, you know, it's not our whole country. You know, we got a bunch of good people too. But I think that
And we have plenty of awful people that you wouldn't want to spend any time with. So
yeah, I just think that the way that that Canadians just generally interact with people, like just the people that work in businesses, at restaurants, and just, you know, people that you would interact with like throughout your society are generally a little bit nicer than the majority of us in America. But it also depends on where you are in America too. So the South has like a Southern hospitality like reputation for a reason, right? Is because people will be kind to you and they'll say nice, kind things to you, but you know, if they tell you to bless your heart, that means that they're talking shit. So, you know what I mean? So you just gotta know certain things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bless your heart is.
Okay, I'm sorry guys, I just accidentally stopped the screen.
Not a good thing to hear. If someone
Okay,
tells you to bless your
remember
heart, they're basically
Thank
telling you
you.
that you're a little slow.
okay.
I am not gonna lie. Alright, let me rewind that again.
Heart, like that means that they're talking shit. So, you know what I mean? So you just gotta know certain things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bless your heart is not a good thing to hear. If someone
Okay,
tells you to bless your
remember
heart, they're basically
Thank
telling you
you.
that you're a little slow.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. So basically, freeze the fall. Keep that in mind. If you come to the U.S. at all, keep that in mind.
Sounds good. No, that kind
That
of
is true.
reminds me of like Aria and I. Excuse me. We had this conversation because when we remember this, we were downtown Vancouver, and we were walking around,
Oh,
and it was so busy, and we kept like it was busy, so people like we
Yeah, they do. I agree, Tommy.
were bumping into people were bumping into us, and so like people bump into us, and we're like, I'm so sorry, or like I'm sorry, whatever, and they were just like they wouldn't even like look at us, they just like keep walking, and we were like, this is so weird.
It's very different from like.
But it
this
just
city.
yeah, but it just kind of shows there is like a difference in like I guess any country like between like the really small, the medium, and the larger towns about like how people interact with each other.
Yeah.
There's definitely that type of difference for sure. Even if you're just going to a different city within your own like country, I guess.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a lot of the same here too, where, you know, the smaller the town, the different the environment is. And it really just depends, again, like where the people are and where you are kind of in the country. Probably very much similar to you guys. But Jonah, you said that you had been to the U.S. Like, where all have you visited in the U.S.?
I've been to Florida. My grandparents, like, they rent a place there every year. And I also went to Disney World, Disney Cruise, and Universal Studios, like in Orlando. And then I've also been to Seattle, and that's it.
So Seattle and Florida. And Aria, I know you went to Vegas and you said Seattle too, right? Have you been anywhere else in the
Yeah,
US?
so California, Nevada, Florida, and Seattle.
Oh, okay, cool. What did you guys think of Seattle? What is it?
Love
Is it very similar to a little bit similar to kind of where you guys are, just like an American version?
It's a really, really cool place.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's like the American version of Vancouver.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've heard. Is that like it's kind of like our version of your guys' Vancouver? So I was
Yeah.
kind of curious if that was an accurate statement because I've never been to Vancouver, but
Yes,
I have
yeah.
been to Seattle. I don't know. I like cloudy, rainy places, so
Me
like
too.
Seattle's cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, unless you really want to walk around, because then it kind of sucks because then you just gonna get wet the whole time. But did you go to the gum wall? Did you go to the gum wall and put gum on the wall?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
It was
Nice,
so
nice.
nasty.
Everybody's got to do it. Like when you go there, like it's gross, but you're like, I gotta do it now. You know what I mean?
It looks cool though, but you just don't want to touch
It's
it.
beautifully ugly.
Yeah, you got to at least get a photo in front of it too.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
There's like so much good food down there, like at that little Seattle market, like from all over the world. Like it's all so good down there.
Pike Market, yeah.
I love that. Okay, I have a question. Because
Okay.
this is kind of going back to something we were saying before. Now that we're in the Canadian American land of talking. So
Okay.
you were saying before that we don't really like sound that Canadian, right? But you said that like some words, and I'm curious what like do you know the words off the top of your head? Like are there any words that we say that sound like different to you? Or do they all sound like very American?
It's sometimes it's like the way that you guys like finish like sentences, and just like the way that you kind of like emphasize, like I said, certain words where it's not like it's anything that's like that really like jumps out. It's just like when you say it, like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes you sound different than how I would hear most people say it. Does that make sense? And with you
Yeah.
guys, it's very, very like sporadic. You know what I mean? It's very random. Where like, we've been talking for a while and there's only been like a couple of times where I don't even think Jonah has really even said anything that maybe like that tripped my brain that way. But like with Arya and Quinn, like you guys have said maybe like one or two things like this entire time that was very Canadian sounding. But it was
Something
just go ahead.
No, sir. Well, something that you said that sounded
Freeze the Fall, I'm not gonna lie, seems like a band. You guys understand everything really well, and what I mean by that is a lot of people will like. What I'm trying to say is a lot of people won't, like, for example, a lot of people will take what you say as like a something mean, or will like take something as offensive, when a lot of times what they're saying is actually not really offensive. I mean, it can be, but it's not really sometimes. So Freeze the Fall is really good as far as not taking that like personal. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Or at least that makes sense. Appreciate that, Tommy. I've met horrible people from all over the world. I just choose not to interact with them so they get... Yeah, and that's a lot of times what you have to do.
different. Was we say like flag, and you were like flag. Like it's more like an
Flag.
and more like an egg.
Oh, I definitely know one word for sure is the way that you guys use the word bag. Like it comes out more like a bag.
I always make fun of Arya for saying
It's like a bag.
Wait, I've heard that somewhere before. Bag. Yeah. I get you. I'm glad you get me.
Like almost like the word peg, but beg. You know what I mean? But we would say like bag, and I would beg you for a bag. Does that? There's two different words there. You know what I mean?
I would beg you for a beg.
But you guys would beg me for a
I gotta stop.
beg.
I'd
You know
beg
what I
you
mean? Yeah, that's definitely one word that I know is beg, which is it sounds weird to even say it on my end because it sounds like I'm saying the word beg, but I'm saying the word like carry a bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it sounds like beg. A
Bag.
bag.
Interesting.
Like Baba Black Sheep. Like bag.
Bah.
You know what I mean?
Bah.
Okay.
Okay, this is American Lessons with Johnny.
American
Yeah.
Lessons with Johnny.
There you go.
Learning
Yep.
the American pronunciation.
Hey, you know, it all started with animal noises, and now we're just getting on to dialects and, you know.
See, this is a pretty iconic interview. I
Yeah, I'm
can't
not
lie.
gonna lie.
This is like probably.
I think this is the most iconic and crazy interview that I've ever watched.
Wait, this is probably a very interesting interview that people are going to watch.
Yes, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, like, what are they talking about?
Oh.
Well, we're definitely highlighting and showcasing a side of the band that I think that people haven't seen yet, so that's cool. We're at least going to show you guys have some fun.
Oh yeah.
The song
Oh yeah, I've definitely not seen this side of the band at all.
that I sent you guys last time, did you guys end up liking any of those ones, or were those cool?
Yeah, literally yesterday I was doing homework and the entire time I just had The Boy Who Could Fly and Southern Constellations on repeat. The entire time that was all I listened to.
Nice,
I love
nice.
those songs. So
Great.
good.
Yeah, I really like the song you sent me. It was super sick.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. It did stress me out when I sent you a song that I had already did. I was like, man, I'm like, at least with Quinn and Aria, I sent them both songs that I didn't know. And then I was like, with you, I didn't send one. I was like, now I don't know what to send him. But I'm like, I feel like I left you out of it. And I'm like, I got to give him something, man. So
You're chilling.
Yes, and I loved the song that you sent me. It's a very good song, I feel, for like putting on your headphones and just turning off all the lights and just laying on the floor and listening to it. It's like that type of
That's like
song.
how you spend
That's
your
awesome.
free time.
I spend my free time. Yeah, probably.
thinking of
I don't even know what the song was, but Johnny is still learning how to conduct an interview, but he is cool. I agree, yeah.
about Amanda and Jonah the Seal and how
Oh
you
my
want to
God,
get back to meet them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. It's awesome.
Yeah, people ask me like all the time, like what my taste in like music is, and I was like, I don't know, man. It's the vibes. Like everything has like a vibe to it, where it's like it might not be like the right time for that song, but like it might be a good time for that song. You know what I mean? So it really just like all in the moment, like of when I'm thinking like what I want to listen to, because I definitely know what you mean about like some songs are like turn all the lights off and put on your headphones and like drift off into your own world, and then there's other songs that like make.
I feel like in a way I can kind of understand that. There's not necessarily a type of music that I like better than the other. They're all really great. All the types of music that I've reacted to so far, all great. Don't get me wrong, all great. Rock, jazz, because Angelina Jordan, pop, country, maybe a little bit of like R&B, maybe. But no, I feel like overall, as far as types of music, that's a tough one, I'm not gonna lie. Okay guys, see you on the next one. Take care, Tommy. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.
You feel like energetic and happy, and then some songs you want to like study homework to and shit like that. You know what I mean, or work on a project, and that's what you want in the background. Yeah, I wouldn't think that every song is fit for every occasion. You know,
I think that I'm pretty sure all of us operate the same way with our music taste. I think all of us operate off the
It
vibes.
even depends on the month sometimes. Like
Yeah.
like you have like playlists built for like Like
Yeah,
winter
I have
or,
like winter playlists. And, yeah, I have like specific playlists for specific occasions. But I think all of us have like pretty like I guess diverse taste in music. I'd say, and so I think we all operate off the vibes.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a constant state of trying to update my playlist, like to be better. Like
Yeah. Okay. Now I get it, Terry.
like the names of
I
my
see.
playlist are all like more or less like a vibe or an emotion, where it's like fall time vibes, like winter time, like it's cold outside vibes, nighttime vibes. I got a one for that one. I got a like one for like the beach, beach time, like upbeat anthem type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in a constant state of like renaming and like updating, like so that way I'm like, I feel like you can't ever create the perfect playlist, but you're always trying to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And for me, I'm like, I never find enough. You know what I mean? There's always
Okay, so sorry guys. The stream just went like black. Some with okay. Anyways.
I'm on a constant path for something new. I get stuck on stuff for a long time, but then like I'll move on and then I'll come back. You know what I mean? Like again, like you were saying, kind of like with seasons and phases. Like I've been kind of going through that recently, where I'm like I've been like really stuck on hip hop lately. Like I cannot get off it for like the last week. It's like all I'm listening to, but I don't really talk about like a lot of hip hop on my channel or like on my like really anything that I do. So I'm like I'm not really listening to music that.
Well, I don't know. I think the entire stream. I think we're all good now. We're all good. No, it was showing like a little symbol at the top, left hand top, like top left hand corner of the stream. It was showing like a Wi-Fi symbol, and next thing you know, the stream went black for like a few seconds. But I think we're good now. We're good. Did you freeze? You might have. I couldn't really tell, just because I was focusing on that. But we're all good now.
Typically I would promote, so I'm trying to get back on that, but like that's kind of the season I'm in right now. It's like every time I'm waking up, I'm like throwing on like that same record that I've been listening to for like the last 7 days. Until I realize the next thing that I'll get stuck on that. Whenever you guys drop a new song, you know what I mean?
Well, I feel like you have the perfect job for being exposed to new music for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely like taking like I guess like all of my hobbies and putting it more or less to like a job that way.
Hold on, Terry. What were you talking about? What were you talking about? Live. So stop in and say hi, howdy, Sam. I'm only asking because it doesn't show you live. So. What a Oh, Johnny's going to be live streaming later. Okay. Yeah, man, I'll stop by. Johnny knows me. And what I mean by that is he's commented on one of my first fall videos, I think. So, Sam and everyone, nice interview, but I have to go take care of something. See y'all next time. See you next time, Anna. Take care of whatever you need to take care of. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. What, actually, I was about to say what time is Johnny you're live, but I can just look it up here. Okay, so Johnny Foxtrot. Okay, so it's not showing. What, do you happen to know what time he's going live today? Actually, hold on. Maybe he sent out a post. Maybe. Hold on. Let me check. I'm checking. Continue the interview. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Sorry. I forgot
Where
about
it's like,
that.
this is kind of what I was always doing. I was always looking at stuff like this and looking for stuff like this. You did make the right noise there, dude. I saw. Amanda would be upset.
Okay, go for it.
You've been legendary this whole interview, man. You've been straight rock star status. You've been eating. You've been drinking. You got up and left, fam. Yeah, it's total rock star, Jonah, today.
Booyah.
Booyah.
Oh my.
Well, I say something and you guys say the same thing, but you do it at the same time. Then that's how it goes.
That's how it goes, dog.
You got any questions for me, Jonah, bro? Before they take over for you. Got any questions for me, Jonah, bro? Before they take over for you.
What was that?
They take over for you.
That's called Jonah the Seal.
What's like your favorite playlist you have? What's your favorite vibes like right now? Man?
My favorite vibes, definitely always nighttime vibes. I like
That's
stuff
so
that
valid.
reminds me of the night, and like when it's dark out. Like I'm definitely like a nocturnal creature. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a vampire, so like the sun doesn't always really work with me as well. So yeah, nighttime vibes for sure.
I feel like
Nighttime
music
vibes.
always just like it's so much better at nighttime,
Especially
especially
raining. Like those are the two times when
raining,
it comes.
snowing, nighttime.
Like there's anything but sun.
Anything but sun.
Anything but sun. Exactly. Cloudy.
Like it's pretty cloudy.
Cloudy.
I feel like
Sunshine
anything would go hard right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely cloudy. You gotta go outside and listen to something.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. When it's sunny, it makes me like want to go to the water. You know what I mean? Like it makes me want to go to the beach when it's like sunny. So
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Me too.
When it's sunny, I feel like it's so
hot and I feel so gross because I'm like covered in like sunscreen or whatever, and I feel like the loud hear music because there's already too much going on. Like it's too overwhelming. It's too hot and too sticky and gross. I'm like, I can't listen to music right now. That's my thoughts on it.
So when you guys are riding down the road, are you guys like windows down kind of people? Are you like just loud with the
Right,
windows
better.
up?
My dad is like volume all the way up with like the extra bass like boosters he added under the seats, windows down, sunroof down, like as loud and as like just like in your face as you can get when you're driving.
And he's sitting there with his like
Nice.
glasses on, and he's like,
Steps ahead.
we have a word for this.
It's called paved.
We created the word paved. We say paved is when something is super like
Masculine.
manly, like the stereotype of
And not in
man.
like a good or bad way. Just like
just in like a neutral way. So when Craig is driving down like this and he's like, you gotta be 5 steps
He's like
ahead
parallel
with his
parking.
yeah, he's like parallel parking. That's pretty paved.
He's like successful.
yeah, he was
Craig
parking.
sounds like a badass man
Yeah, Craig is
For
so
real.
cool. So Craig, when Craig
with a
listens back
super
to this-
Canadian accent. Like, hey, bud.
Yeah, Craig, when you listen back to this, I want you to know we love you, and this is like all
This is all
compliments.
good
here.
things,
So
yeah.
we were driving in like where were we? We were
on our
like
way-
downtown east side or something.
We were in Vancouver and we were going to the
record label
yes
place.
yes that was
And he was like parallel parking in this like really awkward place, and you were like, whoa, how do you do that? And he was just like, well, we 5 steps ahead. It's like a game of chess. Oh, funny.
with his like I don't know Metallica or something.
Metallica. It was so funny. And he has these like cuffs, these like
big,
wristbands.
like leather cuffs with like studs in them.
Yeah, and then his rings
But then
with
he'll
like
like
skulls.
plaid at the same time.
Fire.
Plaid.
With like his like dolphin hat.
He's so iconic. And he has like a big white truck too. And
And
he's
like,
like,
big with like a
5 steps
shoe rack
ahead.
on the top.
Yeah.
He look.
Well, that's all I can say.
He looks like so like I guess normal is I guess the easiest way to put it. But he's such a badass. Normal. He look is I guess like I guess normal.
And he's got like this big watch that is like
Yes.
so in your face. It's like ginormous. Is it like leather or something? And he's got like this big watch that is
But he's such a badass.
and he's got like this big watch that is like
Yes.
so in your face. It's like ginormous. Is it like
And
leather
he's
or
like
something?
skull rings.
Yeah,
and,
skull
like,
rings.
cheaply made.
Yeah, and he has like some of his like wristband things or whatever. They look like that, like you know that like snakeskin type of pattern. They look like that.
But at the same time, we were in like cargo shorts and like
Wow.
like really beaten down like khakis or something.
And he's like the nicest dude. Like he's just like looking out for everybody. It's
Like,
just like yeah.
his arms are like emo, and then the rest of him is like dad.
Yeah,
Canadian dad.
Canadian dad core.
Canadian dadcore. That's fire.
Wow.
Does he have a?
We
Does
have
he
all our
ever have
dads
a
are
motorcycle?
nothing
Does he ever have a a leather jacket?
That would complete.
We have to let the jacket.
That
Okay.
would complete the whole Craig Becker like whatever it is. Oh man.
We might need to get him a
Canadian
motorcycle, at least a little part timer. He could be the guy on the motorcycle blasting the music like mad loud. You guys ever seen those people when they have like the super loud speakers on their bikes and they're like at the
Like
red
revving
lights
the
in the city?
engine. Yeah.
I would think
sure.
that would. I don't know. I don't know if I could listen to music like that, like blasting through my motorcycle speaker like that. I feel like it would be weird. I don't feel like it would be the same as it would be like in a convertible with the music loud. Does that make sense? The motorcycle doesn't
feel
just doesn't
Music
seem like
is different when it's literally just you.
It's that time. Gotta run literally until next time. Until next time, Jeff. See you later. Thanks for joining. Terry, you said 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. our time. Okay. 6 p.m. Central time, my time. Okay. Yep. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there.
And like the people you choose who hear the music. You know what I'm saying? When you like pick the small little
What
spot and you're like
are
this no. And you're like, okay, this is who's gonna hear this song. It's more like sacred. It's like, oh,
I guess I'm kind of on that page, right? Where like I like my stuff loud, but I'm like if I feel like everybody outside of my car can hear it, I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm like I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want everybody else to hear what I'm listening to, if that makes any sense. Like when I pull into like the parking lot or something is when I turn the music down. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I'm like, okay, all right, now it's just for me again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that dude. I'm not ballsy as ballsy as Craig is, or as badass as he is to just like let that shit rock with the windows down while I'm parking. Yeah, I couldn't do it. That's full right
like,
there.
I feel like you might be that guy, but not in like an obnoxious way. I feel like you'd like kind of roll down the windows a bit and like crank the music. I feel like that'd be you, but only on like busy roads. You wouldn't do that by like people's houses.
I'm trying to do my N test in May because that's when my birthday is. So I'm starting to develop the driving playlist, and you already know I'm cranking that every single time. You already know.
Yeah, I figured you'd be the loud guy, dude. I also figured you to be the guy in the band who had the sports car one day. Is that fact?
I can see that.
Oh.
Who knows? I don't know.
I can see.
I'm not a big car guy.
Watch Arya's face.
Is that factual?
Oh.
The guy in the band who had the sports car one day. Is that factual?
Oh.
Who knows? I don't know.
I can see.
I'm not a big car guy.
I don't picture you as a car guy, but I picture you as a guy who would get a fast car. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I see you like in a Viper.
It may not be an exactly quote-unquote sports car, but it'll at least be a fast car in some shape or form.
Or something, fam. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about you, dude, but I'm seeing it in the future. I'm seeing you. You're the one with the blacked out fast car.
Actually,
that's what I'm seeing.
I can see that, and it's not even in like a rude like flexing on people. It's literally just in like this car is cool type of way.
And it show Jonah Flex way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard, but not over the top. You know what I mean? I'm not painting a picture of you, fam. I'm not.
There's a good balance there.
Smooth criminal, my brother.
Smooth criminal for sure. The great way to describe it.
Damn. What type of cars do Arya and I have?
I'll have to think about those.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't quite picture it yet. I don't know.
I'll have to think about those.
To describe it.
Damn. What type of cars do Arya and I have?
I'll have to think about those. I don't know. I can't quite picture it yet. I don't know. When I think about you guys, I think about people driving you around. Does that make more sense? Like you guys are gonna be in the back of limo.
Mine is loud when parking, but not as loud as when driving. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that makes sense.
Like, and when I picture Jonah driving off in his like sports car, it's like when he's off doing his own thing, like not in the back of the limo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I love that.
Quinn,
I
I have an answer for you, Quinn. I got one for you. I can see you driving a lifted pickup truck, like somebody from America. That's what I can see.
I'll get
With
the
like the
American
big,
flags going.
with like the big like the not intakes.
No, I got you. Like Optimus Prime.
Yes, thank you, fam. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I could see
There
it
we
like
go.
on the side, couple of Canadian flags hanging out the back of the truck, I think, for sure. That's what I see Quinn
Oh
driving.
my god.
I see that.
And
I feel like
Where's
I know
Arya
what
is the
yours would be.
I can't do this. Her mode of transportation would be the bus, but it would always be the wrong bus. Because you didn't know what bus you were.
and you just hop on the bus, and we'll figure out if it's taking us.
Okay, this is random, but I just thought of an idea. I can see Arya driving a Tesla. I don't know why. I don't know why.
The right place for that person? Is that what's happening?
I go on like you school bus and I'd be like, so can you take me to like LA or something?
Stop! And you'd like be in the bus and there's a bunch of like 7-year-olds there because it's a school. And you wouldn't notice until like 15
And
minutes
I'd like sit
in.
down with one of them and I'd like have like carrots and be like, hey, you want one?
Carrots and hummus.
They make your eyes shiny.
Yeah. So that's what I think you would drive.
I'm honored.
Yeah, no problem.
I imagine you like have like a horse-drawn carriage with like Clydesdales, a big black one and big white one.
I'm so sorry. You're taking this school bus, and I have a horse-drawn carriage.
No, I'm actually cool though because I have alternate buses because you said I'm always on the wrong one, so I can have any kind of bus I want.
Yeah.
This interview. Okay, so this is a car. This interview just completely took a. Just a complete 360 turn.
And what would Johnny have? Johnny would have.
I feel like
I would honestly say, yeah, Johnny would have a pickup truck as well.
I'm like a spray painted purple minivan.
Yeah, I was gonna say like. You'd have like I don't know how to describe
Okay, their answer is nowhere close to mine.
cars. You'd have like a truck, but not one of the like obnoxious trucks. You'd have just like one of those little small trucks that was like secondhand, like you like bought it off someone, and you have like a bunch of stickers on the back of it.
My
That's
very
what you have.
my very first car was a small little truck. It was a GMC Sonoma, and I had a bunch of band and skateboarding stickers on the back windows.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking.
There's no
You
way.
actually
That's what I'm thinking.
She was on the money.
I got you.
Yep. That was my very first car. It was not a big truck, and it was a second-hand truck.
No way.
I did love that truck though.
Those
God.
are
I love
actually
that truck.
psychic, dude.
Damn.
What would be really weird is if you could predict my second car. That one. It's like a polar opposite, but yeah. First car was truck, and I've had like I had a couple of
First
Jeeps
car
in my
was
life.
truck.
First car was truck.
Second
Second
one
car
was,
was Jeep.
a punch buggy.
A punch buggy.
Dude, I really wanted. That was when I was a kid. That's like the car that I wanted to have. I wanted to have a punch buggy. My friend who lived down the street when I lived in Alaska, her dad had one of like the old school like original ones. He had an all black one, and he kept that thing nice too. He was my baseball coach actually for like one season. But yeah, I don't know. I always really liked those punch buggies. I don't think I'd ever get one now, but back then I did. So that's funny that you say that. My second car was a Jeep, and then like, I've now become like a Jeep dude. Like I like
Wait, that
Jeeps.
makes so much sense.
Well, it was close.
Because like surfer, yeah.
yeah.
Good like surfer, right?
Yeah. You're like, okay, if you
My
if
Jeep
you were
actually
in a-
came with a surfboard rack on the top and an actual surfboard.
Okay, I don't know. If you were in a hot country, you would be a surfer, and if you were in a cold country, you'd be a snowboarder. I don't know how to
Yep.
explain it. And
Yeah,
whatever
that
you
just
do,
makes sense.
you have like a water bottle that's like a metal water bottle with like stickers on it, and it's like forest green. Your truck or whatever you have, it's gonna have some stickers on it. Not an obnoxious amount of stickers, but like a tasteful amount of stickers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like the older you get, the less stickers is more tasteful. You know what I mean? Like when I was 15, having that thing plastered was pretty cool. I didn't even go as far as my best friend. Then he had way more stickers on his car than I did on mine. I feel like I've always like been like a kind of person that was like sometimes less is more. You know what I mean? But yeah, now I'm the dude who puts stickers on like my Yeti cooler and shit like that. So
Nice.
there's always some place to put stickers. Like stickers are always fun. They never not get fun. There's always a place to put stickers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you just need to master snowboarding and
And surfing.
surfing. I almost said sledding. I was like, what's the other S word? Sledding.
I actually really like snowboarding a lot. I thought about buying a snowboard a couple of years ago, but it doesn't snow again enough here like it does in Canada, and I don't live like right next to like a ski resort, so everything would be like a travel to thing, and it would be like a. Every time I've ever gone snowboarding, I've always gone with somebody, and I don't really like to do it. Like that's one of those activities that I don't like to do by myself. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
Go
more
with him.
fun
That's
to
not-
go with somebody.
I started snowboarding
You can go with him.
this season, so
It's
You can
yeah.
go
more
with him.
fun
That's
to
not-
go with somebody.
I started.
Activities that I don't like to do by myself. You know what I mean? It's
You can
Yeah.
go
more
with
fun
him.
That's
to
not-
go with.
You can go with him.
Yeah.
You can go with him.
That's not.
You can go with him. 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 You can go
I started snowboarding this season, so you can go with me.
Oh, no kidding. So you would consider yourself more a beginner?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'd go with you then. I'd go with you then for sure, bro. I'd go with you for sure. I'm not that good, but I can hold my own. You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Wait, that would be so fun. Wait, Johnny, you have to come here, and we have to take Johnny up to Big White.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the mountain near us. It's called Big White.
It's where everyone
Big
goes on
White.
the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go skiing, snowboarding, hiking, tubing.
Snowshoeing.
Everyone goes there. It's fun. So we'll take you there.
They have a tubing hill too. That's cool.
Yeah. It is fun.
Yeah, I haven't been. Most of the time, and that's the thing is like most of the time I've gone snowboarding, it's been to places that had to provide fake snow. They had to provide they had to give you like the fake stuff, so it was like all hard and frozen over and stuff like that. Not the last time I went, but a couple times ago, I went to some place called Ski Apache, which is a place in New Mexico, of all places, that they actually have a ski resort in some place in New Mexico. But yeah, it's all manufactured snow. None of it's actual real. It's not cold enough.
Oh, you gotta come to Canada. You gotta come to Canada.
We got some real.
Yeah, we've got the real snow.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to go snowboarding on actual real snow. That would actually be fun because like falling on frozen ice or frozen fake ice is the worst.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, and they have skating too. We can all go skating together.
They have like every winter sport.
Yeah, literally every winter sport exists at Big White.
So that's a good Canadian question. Is it part of like your guys' schooling process to learn how to ice skate? Is that just like a Canadian
Not part
thing?
of the education system.
It's
no.
not part of the education system. It's just part of
No.
the.
That's interesting, Terry. Yeah, no, not enough snow. Texas does not get snow at all whatsoever. The only time we've gotten snow, and it's like very rare. When I say very rare, it is very, very, very rare for us to get snow. Yeah, there are a lot of places. Yeah, there are a lot of places with snows on like Christmas and stuff like that. Snows during the holidays, stuff like that. None of that. None of that. Nope. We do not get. The only thing we get is cold. The only thing we get is freezing temperatures. It is cold. That is it. That is it. And my body is too big. I feel like I'm gonna be honest, snowboarding, while it sounds fun, snowboarding could also, in my opinion, snowboarding can also be one of those sport activity things where like where there's a more higher chance of you beating yourself up.
If you're a Canadian, you'll learn how to do it.
It's pretty popular though.
Yeah, most people.
Especially for someone like me who plays baseball. If I were to, let's say I play baseball. So let's say that I were to go snowboarding. That would be one of the sporting activities where it's a higher chance for me to seriously beat myself up and get injured and possibly either not play baseball for a while or either not play baseball at all due to that injury. So yeah, I don't know. The thing, so there's a saying that I hear people say where I'm probably not gonna say the saying right, but it's like a saying like talking about how if you play one sport, don't try and play another, or like, so like for example, I play baseball. If I try playing basketball, it's a higher risk for me to get hurt there and injure myself from playing baseball. because I've worked hard as far as like working out and stuff for baseball. If I went to play basketball, I haven't worked out at all for that. So it's, yeah, mine not from sports, work and car accidents and yeah.
Do like
At least no.
yeah, everyone like I think most people at least know how to like do it without falling over for the most part.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be like a figure skater and do like tricks, but like you can skate without falling.
Yeah, I feel like ice skating and just stuff like that here is just very, very few and far between. Like, there's very few places to go unless you like live like closer to you guys, like closer to Canada, right? Like, so like anything upstate New York or anything on the borders, like type of thing would have like a lot more like snow activities or cold weather stuff. That's like the only parts of our country where we even have like high school hockey teams would be like Minnesota and like the Dakotas and like those states that are bordered with you guys. Like the rest of our country, like it's just football and basketball and soccer. Like we don't do like hockey like that. But I've always been a big fan of hockey myself. But
Terry, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's just you and me in the stream.
not really like a lot of opportunity to really like even get into it the way that you guys have. So like I feel like it's kind of the same thing with even just skating. It's like most people in the U.S. don't even know how to ice skate and wouldn't even like try. It probably would terrify them. The idea of getting on ice with a blade would probably actually terrify a lot of people in the U.S. But it is a lot of fun though. It's a lot of fun if you know how to skate. Like it's just a cool
Yeah,
activity.
it is fun. It is very fun. Definitely. Yeah.
Terry, that is not, that is not fun.
What other kind of stuff do you guys get into, like to basically kind of like, I don't know, kind of just get out and kind of get your mental health right? Like, you know, just kind of to do things that are just fun and just stress free. What other kind of activities you guys like to do? Because obviously you guys listen to music and obviously you guys, you know, have activities and things that you guys do. So like what kind of stuff do you guys like that are just more individual to you, like, you know, just random one-off things that you guys like to do just to kind of like make yourself happy, you know what I mean, that you enjoy?
I usually just go on walks. I just go outside. I try to like leave my phone at my.
Half the time, that's it. I'll probably like 99.9% of the time, that's what happened.
House, so I can just
It's
walk.
people not paying attention, and the next thing you know, they end up in a wreck with you
Sometimes
because they weren't paying attention.
I go hiking with my family. There's like a lot of hiking trails where we are, so yeah, you can just go hike in the mountains.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I have like this like one specific sketch.
A lot of times they're not paying attention. This is my opinion. A lot of times they're not paying attention because they're on their phone, and not looking at the road. Either that or like the radio. Maybe they're like messing with the radio or something and also not paying attention to the road. There are several scenarios of ways they could not be paying attention. So
Sketchbook. Like I have a fairly my main thing is like realistic watercolor, but then when I'm like trying to like calm down or something, I have this one sketchbook where I'm allowed to like not do realism and just like chill and like scribble or do whatever I want to in it. So that's usually where I go.
I like working out, getting exercise, going to the gym, that kind of thing.
What kind of like exercising do you do? You like to lift weights? Are you more like a calisthenics guy? Like you like to do like running? Or like
I like
kind of stuff?
weightlifting. I do cardio as well, though.
Cool. You talked to Jesse about that at all? I know he's like big into like weightlifting and stuff too, right?
No, I haven't talked to him about that.
Yeah, I think he's like trying to like do more stuff with like, you know, taking care of like your body and stuff like that. I think on his channel this year. So
That's good.
Yeah, you might want to ask him. I think he's kind of actually big into to working out. So I'm sure he probably would love to just talk about it with you. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that about him. Well, like, I assume because he looks ripped, but like, I didn't know he was like into like weightlifting and stuff.
It was actually one of the first things that he even brought up to me. Like when I started like chatting with him at all, like he brought up about like working out and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, you're a gym dude. I didn't realize that he was that kind of guy. But yeah, apparently it is a big thing in his world. I've had my time, you know what I mean? Especially when I was in the military. But like honestly, like trying to keep up like
I didn't even know he was in the military.
like to keep like muscle mass like that, dude, like you have to eat so much and you have to spend so much time in the gym. Like if you want to like be like huge, then it's a big commitment. You know what I mean? That's why I was like curious of like what all kind of like working out you were getting into.
Well,
and again, to
no,
a whole
no,
kind
no,
of
no.
conversation about that.
Remember, if you paddleboard across the Atlantic or even the Pacific and the Atlantic, then you're good to go.
Are you good to go?
That's all. That's all you have to do. That's all. That's a
Just
secret.
make sure you get enough protein and paddle across the ocean and go watch Spirit Box, bro, and you'll get jacked.
Exactly.
And Jonah the Seal.
Jonah the
See-
Seal.
So you can't get your arms too big, dude, because then your drumming skills will like your arms will slow down. You know what I mean? You gotta make sure you're still moving.
Oh.
You know what I mean? You gotta keep that speed
I'll
up.
watch out for that.
Yeah, don't make your arms too heavy where you can't move fast.
Right, yeah.
Strong yet agile.
Exactly.
Cold as ice.
Cool as ice.
Well, thanks guys for hanging out with me today, for sure.
Thanks for
Yes,
having
thank
us.
you.
For
Thank
2
you,
hours. Yeah,
Bang
especially
on
for 2
interview.
hours.
This has been a
Yes.
lot of fun, Johnny. Thank you.
Definitely.
I appreciate you.
Thanks so much, Johnny.
Bye, Johnny. Have a good day. See
Yeah,
ya.
you guys have a good one. Talk to you guys soon.
There you go. That is the end of the Johnny Foxtrot show. Johnny Foxtrot interview with Freeze the Fall. Air Force, I believe. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, thanks to him for serving our country. For sure. Let me, real quick. Please. Final. Part. But yeah, there you go. That's gonna do it. So, hope you all enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the watch party, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below in the comment section for any request. Type the artist, song by the artist. I'll make sure to react to it. Same thing with Throwback Thursday. Jeff Koistra, Anna Cruz, shout out to Tommy Mark, Viking J, shout out to everyone that of course was able to make the live stream, and yeah, Terry, I'll see you at 6 p.m. Central Time for that Johnny Foxtrot live stream. I'll be there. But yeah, with that being said, at least I assume you'll be there as well. About supper time here now, Sam. See you later. See you later, Terry. But yeah, with that being said, like, subscribe if y'all enjoyed it. Comment all your requests, and I'll make sure to react to them, including Throwback Thursday. I'll see you guys. This was the final thing for today, was this watch party, because I did all my reactions earlier today. So, with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are in the world. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys.